Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I've been kind of sitting here for like a long time now just listening to this music because it's so good. Hello there everybody, Sabata92 aka Nightmare, and welcome back to Steins Gate Zero. In the last episode, we got treated to a fantastic opening theme that I've heard I think the name of the song is called Amadeus, which, that's fitting, and I'm probably going to go listen to it for like 50 hours, days, weeks, just, you know, on endless repeat for a while, until the point where it's completely 100% memorized into my brain, and then I'll listen to it again. But also, we got a glimpse at the Amadeus system, and this time we got to see, well, for very briefly, Amadeus Makise. So, I'm wondering how the heck that's going to play out. So, let's throw ourselves back in. Oh, I am going to try to pay attention to as many messages as I can, the text messaging. Guys have kind of clarified that, yeah, I do have a lot of options that I can choose for certain responses. So, I will try to vary in some of my responses, and I will try to, go specifically to each character,
あなたは私の声を架け橋として過去へと降りていきます。
Psychologist. Oh. Oh. The incident with Makise must have affected him. Okay.
どんどん降りていって、やがて柔らかい色をした光が見えてきます。
I was dreaming. Daydreaming. I was aware that I was lying on a big sofa, undergoing counseling. I tried my best to stay calm, and imagine what the psychologist was telling me.
その光は何色に見えますか？赤ですか。なるほど。その光の中にあなたの大切な人が立っています。その人はあなたの家族でしょうか？いや。では友人？それとも恋人？恋人。いや。恋人じゃない。友人ですらない。ではどういう？俺とあいつは。
Memories came flooding back into my mind like a geyser. I'm Aweka.
話して。あんたがタイムリープしたのは分かってる。マユリを助けて。ベータ世界線へ行きなさい。マユリが死なない世界へ。それがあんたのためでもあるし、私のためでもある。
Ah.
私のこと覚えててくれる？
Ah.
死ぬのかな？死にたくないよ。
岡部さん、俺が いいですか？私があなたの肩を叩きます。それを合図に意識がはっきりしてきますから。3、2、1、はい。
There was a loud sound. Then I felt an impact on my shoulders. Kurisu's suffering face disappeared instantly, and I could feel my consciousness awakening. I stood up off the sofa. I felt dizzy and almost fell over.
大丈夫ですか？少し休んでいてください。今、タオルを持ってきますから。
The psychologist left the room. I realized I was soaked in sweat. The air conditioner was working, so I could tell it wasn't from the heat. It was the first time I'd tried hypnotherapy at a mental health clinic. I think my psychologist actually once recommended that to me at one time. I didn't try it, but a method of therapy where the patient is placed in a hypnotic state, and the therapist acts directly on their subconscious mind to remove the psychological traumas that led to mental illness. In Japan, there is no government certification system for hypnotherapy, but therapeutic associations do offer their own certifications. Certified hypnotherapists are sometimes called hypnosis technicians. My body felt strangely heavy. When I got outside, it was night. It was almost December, and the wind was cold. Amadeus is on my phone? Okay.
どうだったオカリン。
Oh, hi, Mayuri. Sheena Mayuri asked me gently. Mayuri was a high school student and my childhood friend. She'd come with me to counseling today. I told her I didn't need her to, but she'd left school early to come. All I ever did was make her worry. Around 3 months ago, my one obsession had been saving her. To me, she had always been someone I had to protect. And now she was worried about me. Oh. Hello. Oh, Suzuha. Got a sec, Uncle Okarin? Refuse, okay. Okay! Listen, what do you think I should do about Mom and Dad? What do you mean? I just can't see them getting together like this. Well, you're right. Uncle Okarin, is there anything you can do? You know there's nothing I can do to help with that. You're right, yeah. Kind of hurts that you just gave up that easily. It doesn't seem to be your kind of thing, Uncle. Like a boss. Oh my god. It was only because of Mayuri's recommendation that I tried counseling.
まあ、大したことないってさ。
I told her a small lie to make her feel better. Actually, they'd told me I had suffered serious trauma. They'd stopped the hypnotherapy and given me a course of counseling and drugs. Now they wanted to wait to see the results. Basically, they decided there was nothing to do but to treat my symptoms and wait for it to heal naturally. I couldn't tell if what Maho had shown me yesterday was having an effect. I underwent treatment without telling the psychologist about the time machine, or the world lines, or most of the things that had happened. So maybe there was no way for them to make a proper diagnosis. In any event, I decided not to think too much about the results.
なあ、まゆり。夕飯、これからだろう。何か食べに行くか。おごるぞ。
ああ、それなら秋葉原に行ってもいいかな。 ルカ君とフェリスちゃんがね、久々にオカリンに会いたいって。
Akihabara, huh? The clinic was in walking distance of my house. Akihabara was much farther away. But even so, I couldn't turn down Mayuri's request. Who would? Until the events of this summer, I'd gone there almost every day. In fact, I practically lived there. Lately, I only went 3 times a week, at the absolute most. And then, only to go shopping on the way home from school. We went out to the plaza in front of the station. Just like in Ikebukuro, even though it was only a month until Christmas, there were barely any decorations. I was sure the whole place would be covered in them the minute it was December 1st. I mean, hell, you can kind of look over here in America. People are already preparing for, Christmas, and October isn't even done yet. Eventually, I was sure to see maids in Santa outfits.
秋葉原でチラシを配るサンタ服を着たメイドか。
Akihabara could be really weird.
ああ、フェリスちゃんとルカ君だ。てってるー。
There it is. Oh. Looking good. Hello, my favorite trap. Ferris and Luca must have been waiting. They ran over as soon as they saw us. Hello. Ferris Nyan Nyan jumped at me without the slightest hesitation. She was a maid, and Ferris wasn't her real name. I knew her real name, but if I didn't call her Ferris at all times, even when she wasn't working, she'd get mad at me. She was wearing the same outfit she always wore. Her work clothes from her job at the maid cafe, Maid Queen plus Neon Squared. Was Maid Queen going to switch to Santa outfit soon? They're jealous. I tried to pull Ferris off me, but it wasn't working. Maybe I should just steal the cat ears off her head.
よくない。あと、京馬っていうのもやめてくれって。
Kyoma. Oh, in Kyoma!
あの名前は黒歴史だからだ。
What? I'm sorry. I need to read this. Dark past, net slang, an embarrassing part of your history that you would rather not talk about, and that you wish was forgotten. Its origin can be found in a certain famous giant robot anime. Oh, really? Ferris looked upset, but I decided to ignore. Oh, in Kyoma was part of a past I'd sealed away. I decided to pretend he never existed. He had meddled with the forbidden invention called the Time Machine, and as a result, the systems that ruled the world had punished him. He dashed the hopes of many, lost the life of someone he cared for, and his heart had suffered grievous wounds. He must never be awakened again. I didn't need him anymore.
じゃあ、なんて呼べばいいのかにゃ。
そりゃあ、岡部とか。
やっぱりオカリンって呼ぶのが可愛くていいんじゃないかな。
Okarin's a good name. By the way, Ferris was what Mayuri calls Ferris was what Mayuri calls Ferris. That's gonna be kind of hard for me to distinguish here. She claimed it was easier to pronounce, or something like that.
マユシーが言うならこれからそう呼ぶにゃ。なんだか違和感あるけど。
She looked unsatisfied, but she backed away.
ルカ子も久しぶりだな。
Good to see ya.
はい。
Lukaku smiled happily. He always looks as beautiful as a pretty girl. But he's a guy. He was a classmate of Mayuri's, and could often be seen helping at the Yanabayashi shrine, where his family lived. Yanabayashi, I think I pronounced that right. Let's just go ahead and read that again real quick. A shrine in Akihabara. Cross Mansaibashi Bridge and then go down the side street. Then go under the bridge there and you'll see it along the river. Home to many stray cats, as well as Urushibara Luka. I probably shouldn't call him Lukako. Just like I told Ferris not to call me Kyoma. He had his own name, Urushibara Luka. But calling Lukako Luka after all this time, that would be really embarrassing.
なんだかとても懐かしいような気がします。僕、時々ラボに顔を出すんですけど、岡部さん、最近あんまり来ていませんよね。
わあ。大学のゼミが忙しいんだ。ATF の準備もあったしな。
Even after that was done, I'd been busy with Maho and Dr. Alexis, and then Amadeus. I haven't had a chance to rest. But I avoided mentioning that to them.
あと、サークル活動もしてるしな。
サークルに入ったんですか？何のサークルかにゃ？やっぱり UFO とか UMA とか。
UFO UMAs? Wait a minute. Unidentified flying objects. Unidentified mainstream anime. Okay, hold on. Unidentified mysterious animal. Damn it. A creature whose existence has not been confirmed by science. Examples include the Loch Ness Monster, the Yeti, or the Japanese Kappa and Tsuchinoko. The word UMA itself was invented by the Japanese, and no one outside of Japan will recognize it. Well, you're right about that. I did not understand that at all. Yeah, we know what a UFO is. Who do you guys think I am? I guess I hadn't told them then. Mayuri, I'm pretty sure I told her. As the two of them looked at me with wide eyes, I cracked a knowing smile and puffed out my chest. That tennis club? The people around us all turned to stare at Ferris and Luca. I tried, but I accidentally threw the racket. That referee still hates me. I may not look it, but I'm terrible at sports. I'm confident I'd lose to Mayuri at distance running.
話せば長くなるんだが、大学のゼミの准教授がテニスサークルの顧問なんだ。それで勧誘された。
一つも長くないにゃ。
まあ聞けって。相手は一応世話になっている人だし、サークルに顔を出してみたんだ。そうしたら、なんと俺にはテニスの才能があるらしくてな。初心者にもかかわらず会員相手に連戦連勝だったんだ。どうだ、大したもんだろ。
岡部さんってやっぱりすごいです。
こんなことならプロテニスプレイヤーを目指しておけばよかったかな。
目指せウィンブルドンだね。
Wimbledon? Poor Ferris is not happy about that.
どうしたフェイリス？頭でも痛いのか？
どこからどう突っ込めばいいのやら。どう考えてもサークルの会員数を増やすための罠じゃないかにゃ。
いや、はっきり言うなよ。俺もうすうすそうじゃないかと思ってたけど、考えないようにしてるんだから。でもみんないい人ばっかりなんだぞ。
じゃあサークルの練習が忙しいんですね。
いや、 練習はあんまりしてないかな。
はい。
Eh?
じゃあ一体何してるにゃ？
合コンとか。
Oh. Their shouts filled the whole street, and once again, people turned around to stare.
そんなに驚くことないだろう。俺だって普通の大学生なんだから。
そうですよね。すみません。でも、
Luca was fidgeting like he wanted to say something.
フェイリスというものがありながら、他の女の子たちと楽しく合コン。許せないにゃ。
Sorry.
勘違いするなよ。俺は女の子なんか別に。
Don't get Luca's hopes up. Wait. The hell? Hold on. Was that tip? Normals! People who live satisfying and fulfilled normal lives. Examples are people with lots of friends, or people with girlfriends, or people who spend a lot of time at their school clubs, or who go to parties, or who aren't interested in anime, or who go outside Japan during summer break. Oh. Would that make me half normal? No. Screw normalcy! Sorry. In fact, I went along with the rest of the club, but there really wasn't any place for a wannabe normal like myself. There was no way I could keep up with the conversations that the, well, normals had. While the other men and women were having fun, I would just kind of sit there. The matchmaking party was a challenge far beyond my capabilities. I wasn't going to tell Ferris and Luca that, though. Sorry. I combined Ferris and Luca's name.
マユシーもオカリンと合コンしたいのです。
何？
Mayuri wanted to do what? Is she old enough to be interested in that sort of thing?
だってみんなで楽しくパーティーするんでしょ。
Evidently not. She's so innocent.
間違ってはいないけど、なんだか微妙にニュアンスが違う気がするにゃ。場所はラボでいいかな。ルカ君とフェリスちゃんはもちろん参加ね。あと、
はい
ダル君やナエちゃんやスズさんも。
Can we invite Moeka, please? Mayuri turned to me with a guilty look. Suzu, huh? Amane Suzuha, also known as John Taitor, a time traveler from the year 2036. A true warrior who was still fighting even as I was trying my best to give up. I'd barely seen her since summer. I was avoiding her. But we're still texting you. Part of the reason I'd stopped going to the lab was that she spent all her time there now. Oh, until a month or so ago, just hearing Suzuha's name was enough to cause flashbacks, and it was all I could do to endure them. You know what? I'm just kind of curious if there's anything else here. Symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder, patients who've gone, okay. After 3 months, I could finally stand to hear her name. But I didn't think I could keep it together if I met her in person. Of course, it wasn't her fault, and I wasn't blaming her. So I didn't want her to blame me. She'd never come out and said it, but when she looked at me with that razor-sharp glint in her eyes, I felt something like guilt.
あのね、みんな。
ん？
マユシーね、ダル君と一緒に考えてるオペレーションがあるんだ。
Oh?
オペレーション？
It sounded like something the old me would have done.
っていうと、どんな作戦かにゃ？すずさんを笑顔にしよう大作戦。
Operation Make Suzu Smile? Why was Mayuri talking about this out of the blue? No, maybe it wasn't out of the blue. She might have been thinking about it for a long time. So I decided to respond as cheerfully as I could.
聞かせてくれよ、まゆり。
マユシーは思うんだ。すずさんって普段は怖いけど本当はすっごく優しい人なんじゃないかなって。
I mean, I'm not disputing that.
ラボにいる時にね、マユシーがソファーでうとうとしちゃうといつの間にかタオルケットがかかってたりするの。すずさんに聞いてもそんなの知らないとしか言わないんだけど。あ、僕もそういうことありました。以前お父さんに買い物を頼まれて、その帰りに荷物が重くて困っていたんです。そうしたら天音さんが通りかかって何も言わずに持ってくださったんですよ。
へえ、初耳だな。
こんなこと当たり前だから誰にも言うなって。あ、言っちゃいましたけど。
You done goofed.
そっか。
In the Alpha World line, she was a cheerful girl who smiled at everyone, and who loved to go mountain biking. But in this world line, she wasn't the type who smiled a lot. This was partially due to the way she'd grown up. I'd heard about it third hand from Daru, but because of the universal conscription program that started after World War III broke out, she'd been forced to undergo military training ever since she was in middle school. And after that, she joined up with the anti-government forces and got caught in a terrible struggle. After that, he said, she'd never really smiled.
だからね、すずさんを本当の笑顔にしたいのです。
なるほどな。
で、具体的には何をするのかにゃ？クリスマスパーティーだよ。
That sounds nice.
クリスマスパーティー？
This music, though. We all spoke in unison.
もうすぐクリスマスでしょ。すずさんね、そういうパーティーをやったことがないんだって。だからマユシーはすずさんにそれをプレゼントしようと思ってるんだ。
That's very nice. Ferris and Lucas nodded at almost the exact same time.
その話乗ったにゃ。僕も。ありがとう。オカリンも参加してくれる？
そうだな。
ダメかな。
俺はともかく鈴葉が嫌がるんじゃないか。
I was never going back to the past. I still couldn't forget the look on Suzuha's face when I told her that. It was an expression filled with anger and despair. She must have felt like her last, most desperate hope was crumbling away right in front of her eyes. The words she'd said to me then were still sharp thorns lodged in my heart.
鈴葉は俺を嫌ってるし。
マユシーはそうは思わないよ。すずさんはね、オカリンを怒っちゃったこと後悔してるんじゃないかな。その気持ちを素直に言えないんだと思うのです。
そうだろうか。
うん、きっとそうだよ。
I couldn't turn her down after Mayuri said that.
わかった。少し考えてみるよ。
ところで岡部さん
What's up? There was a bit of hesitation in Luca's voice.
診察はどうでしたか
Evidently, Luca had heard about my counseling from Mayuri. Maybe he'd wanted to see me because he was worried about how it went. I guess I'm making Lukako and Ferris worry too. In this world line, they hadn't joined the club, but even so, they were still dear friends. Hold on. Lab members. Short for laboratory members. This term refers to official members of the Future Gadget Laboratory, and anyone who's been given this designation has free access to the lab. Lab members are given numbers in the orders that they're... Okay, that's right.
催眠療法というのは初体験だったが、なかなか興味深かったな。俺は今まで催眠術なんかにはかからないと思ってたよ。驚いた。
かかっちゃったんですか？
見事にな。
へえ。
そういうルカニャンも催眠術とかすぐにかかりそうだにゃ。
そんな。
I'll be nice to him.
確かに速攻でやられるだろうな。
Luca would believe anything you told him. Anyway, there was no point standing around forever. I was getting hungry, and it was time to find some place to eat.
なあ、お前たち何が食べたい？おごるぞ。
We decided to head toward Yodobashi. There were a lot of restaurants there, so it was perfect.
やったにゃ。今日なじゃなくてオカリン太っ腹にゃ。
ありがとうございます。何食べようかな。唐揚げかな。ジューシー唐揚げ？
マユシーはそればっかりにゃ。
I walked behind the three of them, and I thought to myself, what would it be like if Kurisu were here? I tried my hardest for the past few months not to think about her, but was it because of my experience yesterday that I did anyway? The expressions and little mannerisms I'd seen yesterday. The voice, the way she'd walked. I remembered my conversation with her.
岡部倫太郎さん、はじめまして、牧瀬クリスです。どうぞよろしく。
Yeah, that must be the hell of a shock for him. I couldn't respond at all. Something felt slightly off about the way Kurisu moved on the screen. But it was really slight. I'd get used to it soon. More importantly, the voice and the way she spoke were exactly like the real Kurisu. I almost cried, and it was all I could do to stop from breaking down.
先輩、そちらは深夜というわけではないですよね。
The camera on the PC switched from me to Maho.
違うけれど、なぜ？
お二人とももしかして眠いのではないかと。
Was she talking about the fact that I didn't respond to her introduction?
私はさっきまで寝ていたけれど、今はもうしゃっきり目が覚めているわ。
だらしないのは相変わらずですね。
失礼なことを言わないで。
では先輩、もう一つ質問しても？
ええ、何？
岡部倫太郎さんとはどういう関係ですか？
この前の ATF セミナーに参加してくれた学生よ。なかなか研究熱心だと思ったから連れてきたの。
Maho decided not to tell Amadeus that I was a friend of Kurisu's before she died. Why, I wonder? Did she not want Amadeus to find out? Or was I supposed to tell her myself?
へえ、 先輩にそう言われるなんて大したものですね。
The Kurisu on the screen turned to me and smiled.
その
Calm down.
岡部さん、専攻はやはり脳科学ですか？
それは
The words got stuck in my throat. I said, calm down! You know this is just a program. Her words, her appearance, even the conversation she's having you with right now, they're all artificial. But even though I knew that, I still couldn't speak. I had no idea what to say. And more than that, the words, nice to meet you, hit me harder than I thought they would. This wasn't the Kurisu I'd spent those 3 weeks with. Maho had told me this ahead of time, and I thought I understood it, but hearing it for myself hurt more than I imagined. I regretted not taking my anxiety meds, but it was too late now. My heart rate soared and my breathing became irregular. My head was spinning and the corners of my vision were beginning to dim. At some point, my lips had gone totally dry.
どうかしました？岡部さん。
Kurisu sounded worried. That voice software must be pretty good, if it could handle nuances like that.
彼の専攻は脳科学ではないわ。だけど私たちの研究にとても興味があるんですって。
そうなんですか。
レスキネン教授も気に入ってるみたいだし、いずれは私の助手にでもしてやろうかと思っているところよ。
My head snapped up in surprise at Maho's bizarre statement. Cool. Wait, me? Maho's assistant? Then I'd go to Victor Condria University?
あら、お気に召さない？
お気に召すとか召さないとかそういう問題じゃなくて、
ま、冗談だけれどね。
Wait, damn it.
冗談？
もしかして本気にした？
Kind of.
信じちゃいない。
I wasn't going to tell her that I almost did.
そう。でも、もっともっと勉強してくれれば、あながち冗談じゃなくなるかもしれないわよ。
仮にそうだとしても、レスキネン教授の助手がいい。
This was my way of getting back at her.
教授の助手って思っている以上に大変よ。あの方は本当に子供だから。
As she spoke, she quietly came over next to me and tapped me on the arm a few times. I see, so that was it. She was making a joke to try and calm me down.
悪かった。ありがとう。
何のことかしら？
I didn't think subtlety was her thing. Maybe I was wrong?
先輩、ちょっと。
Kurisu beckoned to Maho from within the screen in a very human manner.
ん？何？
もうちょっとこっち。スピーカーに寄ってください。
Hmm? Maho moved her ear close to the speaker. I was just thinking about how weird it was when... Maho suddenly turned bright red and shouted at the screen.
そんなわけないでしょ。何を言ってるのあなた。
What did you just suggest?
そんなに照れなくても。
照れてるわけじゃないわ。とにかくおかしなことを言うのはやめて。
そうですか？
そうです。
一体何の話を？
It was obvious that Kurisu had whispered something to Maho. What did she say? Maho glanced at me. And for some reason, she blushed and turned away. Ah, I see. From the way Maho was acting, and what I knew about Kurisu, there was only one possibility.
このスイーツかっこ笑い目。
Really? Okay. A pejorative term used to refer to girls who are easily influenced by trends or who think in ways that men find impossible to understand. However, it is said that the only people who use it often are boys who have very little experience with women. Huh. I'm learning a lot of I'm learning a lot of internet stuff here. I whispered a name I'd often teased Kurisu with and suddenly felt a lot better. She must have said something stupid like, "You two make a good couple," or "You finally found a man, huh?" The way she looked at a boy and a girl holding a friendly conversation and immediately assumed that they were dating was just like the Kurisu I knew. Sheesh, what a system. It didn't need to be that true to her personality, did it? I chuckled. Do you think this Kurisu also browses @channel when Maho and the professor aren't looking too? Huh? What's that? Fictional, a huge anonymous message board that's the largest of its kind in Japan. Its catchphrase is everything from hacking to tonight's dinner, and its boards discuss everything from underground topics to normal news. Ah. Nah. Knowing her, she's probably commenting. I remember Kurisu once browsed a channel on the Future Gadgets laboratory computer when she knew nobody else was around.
クリスティーナ、お前はやるべきことをサボって何を見ていた？
え
おい、その、これはひどい。はいはい、ワロスワロスみたいな笑い方はなんだ？
I already know what raffle means. I'm happy that I at least know what that means.
俺はすでに気づいていた。そう、とっくに気づいていた。お前か。アットチャンネラーとしての匂いのようなものがプンプンと醸し出されていた。
失礼だな。ちゃんと毎日香りがきつくなる香水つけてるぞ。
そういう意味ではない。俺が言っているのは魂レベルだ。だが隠そうとするとはいじらしいな。アットチャンネラークリス。
その名で呼ぶな。
Your soul's power level, huh? My silly remarks seem to me to have a much deeper meaning now. Was the girl in front of me one day going to, as Dr. Alexis had said, become a real artificial soul? When that happened, what were we supposed to call a soul that still existed in this world after the body was gone? Not dead or alive, but something in between. This wasn't science anymore. It was philosophy, or maybe religion.
バカな話はここまでにしましょう。岡部さんだってこんな中身のないことを聞きたくて来たわけではないわ。
そうやってごまかすところがますます怪しいですね。
ウイルスをぶち込むわよ。
嘘です。もう言いません。
Kurisu quickly bowed her head. I bet back when Kurisu was still alive, she had conversations like this with Maho every day. I'm sure Dr. Alexis had a lot of fun watching them. It was actually kind of cute.
お騒がせしてごめんなさい、岡部さん。彼女と何か話してみる？
ああ。
Maho offered me the seat in front of the PC. Kurisu's face was on the monitor right in front of me. When our eyes met, she smiled a little. I didn't know she reacted like this to people when she first met them. But my meeting with Kurisu went about as badly as it possibly could have. I realized that her prickly attitude towards me could have been unusual for her.
どんなことでも聞いてください。可能な範囲でお答えしますから。
そうだな。
This wasn't good. I was remembering every moment I'd ever spent with Kurisu. I couldn't think of what to say. And then the words that came out of my mouth were,
タイムマシンは作れるだろうか。
that was what I had once argued about with Kurisu on Another World Line. In the end, I'd lost the argument completely.
はい。
え？
タイムマシーンですか？
何の話を始めるのかと思ったら、いきなり何？
ただのテストだよ。思考実験ができるかどうかっていう。
どうクリス？
そうですね。結論から言ってしまうとタイムマシンは可能ではない。けれど不可能とまでは言い切れないといったところでしょうか。
Ah. That wasn't what she said.
最初に結論を言ってしまうとタイムマシーンなんていうのは馬鹿らしい代物だということです。
That's what Kurisu had said in the Alpha World line. I remembered that well.
俺はタイムマシンなんて馬鹿らしい代物だと思うけどな。
I remembered our old debate and decided to repeat what Kurisu had said then.
そう決めつけるのは早計ですよ。
そうかな。確かに世界中の科学者がタイムトラベル理論を提唱している。主な理論だけで11あるが、
This is quite an interesting role reversal here.
どれも仮説の域を出ない。しかも理論同士が矛盾し否定し合っているものまである。
ええ。
例えば宇宙紐理論やワームホール理論。これらは思考実験としてはタイムトラベルを可能にするが、そもそも宇宙紐だのエキゾチック物質だの、どこからどう探してくればいいのか見当もつかない。つまり現実的ではない。
This was also something that Kurisu had told me in the Alpha World line. But the Kurisu in the screen was unmoved.
それは科学者がまだ重大な何かを発見できていないからでしょうね。
それじゃあ君はタイムマシンをいつか作れると思っているのか？
不可能とまでは言い切れない。そう言いましたよ。
Huh. Wow. Yeah, her opinion was slightly different. Was this because I was in the Beta World line? Or perhaps...
なあ、ヒアジョーさん。彼女は自分がオリジナルの記憶から派生した存在だということは認識しているんだよな。
もちろん。
じゃあ、うまい例が思いつかないんだが、一卵性ソーセージみたいなことはあるのか？生まれた時は見分けがつかない。だが、育つにつれて差異が出てくるとか、そういうことを。
Oh. I guess we could think of it like this, as this is just Makisei's twin.
それについてはまだ検証中だけれど、蓄積されていく記憶が異なれば、当然元の人間とは違うものになっていくと思うわ。私と教授はそう考えている。
そっか。
It was then that I heard the door on the other side of the partition slam shut.
教授かしら？
あの大きな足音はそうじゃないでしょうか。
I could definitely hear somebody stomping around outside. And then, after a heavy knock, the door to the booth flung open. Close. Lintalo? The professor opened his arms wide as he came inside. He grabbed my hand and began to wave it around. I hadn't realized he was this friendly. He seemed to think he was giving me a handshake, but it felt like I was being worked over by a pro wrestler.
Hey boy, what's up?
I don't know, what's up with you?
I'm fine, thank you, and you?
Nice English.
岡部さん、ひどい英語ですね。
He tried.
黙れクリスティーナ。
クリスティーナ？
No! He slipped up! Oh no! I was so focused on the professor that I used my old nickname for.
なんでもない。気にしないでくれ。
気になります。なんで私がクリスティーナなんですか？
だからなんでもないというのに。
なんでもない割には動揺してますよね。
She makes a fair point.
しつこいぞクリスティン。クリス。
Kurisu and Maho both seemed lost in a thought.
クリスティーナって呼んでいたのね。
君もそこに食いつくな。
I didn't want any more questions about this. Since the professor was here, I decided to ask more about how Amadeus' memories worked.
教授、アマデウスの記憶を外部から改ざんすることは可能なんですか？
But the professor wasn't listening to my question. He seemed to be frantically searching his pockets for something. Come to think of it, I didn't see that translator device on his ear. He must have been looking for it, which meant odds were good he didn't even hear my question.
私の記憶の改ざんですか？理論上は可能です。
Kurisu herself answered in the professor's place.
例えば、私が自分の名前をクリスティーナであると思い込み、そう仕向けることもできるでしょう。ただ、普通のデータと違い、記憶データはとても複雑です。今のところ、改ざんに成功した例はないと認識しています。
Ah.
仮に改ざんに成功した場合でも、私がそれに気づいて自分で修復してしまうでしょう。
Ah, so nobody... Okay, okay.
私は私以外アクセス不可の領域にログを取っていますから。つまり秘密の日記ですね。
Huh. That's a pretty easy way... That's not a bad way of thinking about it.
その日記と現在の記憶との間に不自然な齟齬があれば、私は高い確率で疑問を抱きます。さらに言えば、私の記憶データは定期的にバックアップされています。
Ah, okay.
自己修復が不能なほどに改ざんされたとしても復旧することが可能なんですよ。最終バックアップから改ざんされた時点までの記憶はなくなってしまいますが。
そうか。
Regardless of the topic of discussion, it felt strange. What Maho had said before she loaded Kurisu was true. I was starting to feel like I was chatting with the real Kurisu. The way she wouldn't let you get a word in edgewise once she started talking about science was exactly like the real Kurisu.
しかし、興味深いな。
I turned towards Kurisu and spoke.
君は自分のことを機械として客観的に語ることができている。小説や漫画でよくあるパターンだと、自分は機械ではない人間だとか言い出しそうなものだが。
それは全くナンセンスですね。人間そのものが自分をハードウェアとソフトウェアの組み合わせとして語るじゃありませんか。
Well, again, I think I already brought this up. Technically, if you think about it, your brain is encased in bone, which, you know, your brain is your actual self. So, theoretically, we're all just piloting the giant bone mechs.
医学とか心理学とかそういう名においてね。それとどこが違うんです？
なるほど。
さすがヘリクツなら誰にも負けないわね、この子。
Definitely. When she heard this, Kurisu turned toward Maho, her CG eyes big and round, though it was really just the camera sensor moving.
ねえ先輩、余計なお世話かもしれませんけど、口が悪いのを少し直した方がいいですよ。せっかく春が来そうなのに嫌われたらどうするんです？
やめなさい。
けど私にとっては今一番興味があります。
一番どうでもいいことでしょ、そんなの。
これが人生最後のチャンスだったらどうするんですか？
あなたこそその口を改めなさい。
Oh my god. Dr. Alexis was clapping his hands together and laughing. I had to chuckle a little too. Afterward, the three of us, including the professor, talked to Kurisu, discussing technical subjects and making small talk. The next thing I knew, it had been almost an hour. I actually felt a little sad when Maho told me it was time to stop. In just a single hour, the strangeness I felt about Amadeus had disappeared, and I felt like I was really talking to Kurisu. Dr. Alexis stopped me before I left.
テストをやる気はあるかな?
I tilted my head when I heard the professor speak to the translator.
MTUS にはタイヤ散歩が少なくてね。うちの研究室の子たちを総動員してはいるのだけれどね。
とはいえ、アマデウスはまだ研究段階だし、誰彼構わず接触させるわけにもいかないわ。
そこでクリスの友人だったリンターロにぜひとも協力してほしいんだ。
I remembered they'd mentioned something about being a tester at the party. So, this is what they were talking about.
私と教授はしばらく日本に滞在する予定なの。だからテスターをお願いするのはその間ということになるわね。
I mean, sure, why not? It sounds like a pretty good idea.
あなたにしてもらいたいのは、とにかくクリスと対話を重ねてもらうこと。具体的なノルマのようなものは特にないわ。気が向いたら話をするぐらいでいい。ただ月に2回程度は私と教授にテスト経過の報告をしてほしいの。
それと申し訳ないけれど報酬は出せないんだ。そこも含めて考えてみてほしい。
That's fine.
俺は
亡くした友人をそっくりそのまま再現した AI と話をさせる。それは君にとってとても残酷なことだとは理解しているつもりだよ。乗り気でないのなら断ってくれていいからね。
I remembered what it had felt like to talk to Kurisu. When the monitor was just about to turn off, this is what Kurisu had said. Let's talk again sometime, Okabe Rintaro. That's what I'd hoped for when I came here, wasn't it?
やります。やらせてください。
I thought I was ready when I accepted the job, but I'd never expected this. There was an incoming call on my smartphone. Oh.
はい。
Whoa. Hello.
マキセですけど。
So that's where the... Okay. Kurisu was displayed on the screen. Yes, it was Amadeus. The app the professor had given me allowed me to access the servers at Victor Condria University from anywhere, 24 hours a day.
岡部さんからクリスの方へ呼びかけることができるのはもちろんだけれど、クリスの方からあなたに呼びかけてくることもあるから、その時はうまく対応して。
This I hadn't predicted. I'd never thought she would call me. Or that her face would be displayed on the screen.
それともクリスティーナですけどって自己紹介した方が良かったですか?
No, it's fine. I mean, it's... She looked really mad. I could guess why. I had gotten 8 calls from Kurisu and I ignored them all. What? Why?
事情はレスキネン教授や先輩から聞いています。 だから最初に一言こちらから挨拶しようと思っていたんですが、まさか8回もイルスを使われるとは思いませんでした。なんで黙ってるんですか？
Talking to a realistic girl on my smartphone with so many people around was pretty embarrassing.
まあ、話す気がないならそれはそれでいいんですが。なんなのよ。せっかくいつも以上に人と話せるチャンスだと思ってたのに、バカみたいじゃない。ったく。いずれにせよ、テスト中は私はあなたといつでもつながっていますから。
Oh.
気が向いたらどうぞ連絡してきてください。こっちも忙しいので、あなたの連絡にいつも出れるかどうかわかりませんけど。
Man, what is this? More than that strangely polite, friendly Kurisu from yesterday. Angry, stubborn, more curious than anyone. The way she seemed to be constantly challenging you.
それでは、お邪魔しました。
I realized that this really was Makise Kurisu. That was the girl I'd spent those 3 weeks with, Lab Member 4, my assistant, Christina, aka Makise Kurisu. Her movements were a little more jerky than I'd seen on the computer in Dr. Alexis's office, but evidently that was because of the smartphone. This alone was enough to make me feel like my heart was being squeezed dry. I stood still, holding the smartphone tight.
どうしたにゃ？
ああ、今行く。
Thought to myself as I ran to catch up with the others. Maybe Dr. Alexis was right. This test would be a very cruel thing for me. But even so, in my mind, I was already starting to think about what I would talk about with Kurisu. Oh! Oh, okay. I'll start that next time. But, one of you guys kind of gave me this little warning. I think it was Ardith who told me about this. Thank you, by the way. Whenever a character's portrait flashes, that means that we're going to be in their perspective. So, it looks like the next recording, we're going to be in Hyajo Maho. I think I finally got to the point where I can pronounce it, but I'm not entirely sure whether I should go with last name first or first name first. You know what I mean? But judging by the way that's pointed out there, Hyajo Maho. I'm going to try to say it properly next time. Alright. So it looks like the next episode we're going to be focusing on, I guess we're going to be changing perspectives. But with that little bit there, does that mean technically I'm going to be able to contact her anytime I want? And okay, next recording, if I get the chance, I'm going to try to experiment with that a little bit. You know, try to contact Amadeus, and talk to her for a while. Just to kind of experiment with it, you know? Okay. Whew. So, we finally got to see some of the gang again. Now all we need to do is see Daru and more Moeka, and then I'll be happy. Damn, though. It's... The atmosphere of this, it's somewhat depressing, but it does it in a good way. I mean, it does it effectively. I mean, I get to enjoy some of the characters, but there's like this, well, this feeling that's, it's kind of hard to describe. But please tell me I'm not the only one thinking this, right? And if I am, feel free to come up with you have to come up with a very clever insult. But if you're going to come up with one, make sure it's funny. Or not at all. It's your call. I don't mind. Anyway, if you guys like this, be sure to let me know. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. SkydivingQuagga.